Oh, yes, party peoples. Bobo here with BrassReel Brother, with my partner Andrew.
Hey!
And with our brother Clint.
What's up?
Oh, shit. All right, well, we're rolling today, guys. We got this going. So as you can see, we're upping ourselves in the world. We're kind of getting some different spaces in the studio here.
Yeah, Bobo and I are in the same studio on separate cameras. I mean, we are like legit moving up in the world.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. And so my whole idea is that every video is 5% better than the last. That's even if you might notice it, I know that I did something that's 5% better than the last. And then, of course, we got Clint, who just went dark on us. Clint went dark.
Well, his name is Clinto Darko.
Yeah, it is Clinto. That is very fitting, actually. Very fitting. So, guys, Clint, you were just listening to something Andrew was telling you.
Oh yeah, so Clint, hey, listen, everyone, we have the first rough cut edit of Lake Court, and it is looking phenomenal.
I knew it would.
It is looking good, man.
And Bobo here, he is a jack of all trades and a king of nothing. He has got he's got a score kind of theme kind of going on, and it looks. I mean, that sounds badass.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm
Score.
Yeah, score, literally.
That's our Harry Manfredini over there. Don't get it twisted.
Do you know? Hey, Harry Manfredini is the Friday the 13th. He came up with the
yeah.
So yeah, he's my hero, man.
Bro.
Well, of course he did.
I thought it was.
There's been debate over that over the years, but it is ma. But it sounds better when you're doing it on your own, going.
Yeah. Oh, the beatbox. See what Clint's doing right there? Yeah.
Yeah, you go boots and the puppets. Just go the boots and the puppets really fast. Like whisper it to yourself, Andrew. Try it real quick. Go.
Boots, the puppets, boots and the puppets.
Boots.
Andrew, listen to me. Go the boots and the puppets, the boots and the puppets, the boots and the puppets, the boots.
Or have you ever got hurt? You
There
heard
you
there's
go.
this one YouTuber named Stevie T. He calls the typical 4/4 beat. He calls that boots cats. Boots, cats, boots, cats, boots, cats, boots.
That sounds a little more Frank Sinatra. That sounds a little more scat than beatbox.
And it's a little scatty. Hey,
little
let's not
scatty.
talk about scat on here, all right, guys?
I'm a
So,
all right.
scat man.
We need to have a real conversation right now, guys. Like a real one. And the thing that we really need to talk about is, can Disney pull this off without screwing up the canon?
Well, if you tuned in a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about what in the world is canon anymore to these people, because it's very confusing on what canon means. You know, and I do keep seeing articles come up about, we promise we're not going to ruin canon, and Bobby and I were just like, well, I mean, what is canon anymore anyways? You got the there's talk about Leia, little Leia being running into Darth Vader, or Vader maybe possibly realizing that he does have his kid. He does have those kids were born, and we were just like, well, if that happens, then A New Hope is all shot. The Return of the Jedi is all shot. And it was just, there's so many things we're just, the discussion lately is just kind of like, we don't even know if they know what canon is.
doesn't that just ruin everything, though? I mean, doesn't that just put like the whole mystery of you watching those original movies? Doesn't that just take all that away? It's kind of like we were talking about this new Joker movie coming out, and it's like, if it's just not good, isn't it just gonna desecrate the first one? Like the Matrix trilogy, we talked about that in the past. The Matrix movie was the first Matrix was like, man, this is amazing. And now you have just an okay franchise.
Man, here's the deal about Star Wars, though. And no other franchise has this issue. Star Wars people hate something when it first comes out. And 10 to 15 years later, they will tell you that it's literally the greatest thing ever. And I present the prequels as my argument here. Now you're hated if you don't like the prequels. When the prequels came out, if you liked them, you were hated.
Yeah, but isn't that because the sequels were such a disappointment?
To some of y'all, I thought the sequels were awesome. We've been over that.
Last Jedi's good.
Last
Anyways.
Jedi is the best Star Wars movie.
Wait, no, you're talking about prequels, not sequels.
No,
I'm
but
talking about
I said
both.
I said that the people started loving the prequels so much because that the sequels were so bad.
Yeah. I stand by this statement. Revenge of the Sith is fantastic. There were things. It was a little long. The things that I wish they maybe would have added in or taken away. But for the most part, like that last 30 minutes was where the last 30 minutes of Revenge of the Sith was worth every penny.
So we got Hoyt 1K. Is that one of your friends?
No, I don't know who
Well,
that
hey,
is.
thanks for joining, Hoyt. I think that's how you say it. But he's saying no one in my crew watches it anymore. Are you talking about the prequels? Are you talking about the sequels? I'm not sure which one. Let us know. I don't rewatch all the Star Wars like crazy. I definitely watch them sort of in a seasonal manner. Like I watch them when I feel like, oh, you know what? I feel like watching a Star Wars movie right now. So I'll put it on, but I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, every month I got to watch this or I got to get my Star Wars fix. I kind of like Star Wars in doses. What about you guys?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I go through binges where I'll watch like a lot of it in a row, and then I won't touch it again for quite some time. I don't know if I'll. I don't know when the next time that I'll want to watch really anything outside of Obi-Wan will be. I'm excited about. I'm excited about this finale, though, guys. Like, I think this show's been awesome. I think that this show has really tied together. And it's made the prequels worth a lot more to me. Like the opening montage alone, like we talked about after the first and second episode, was great. I think that we are going to see. I'm sad about this. We're all going to hate this, but I think Leia's going to bump her head and get temporary amnesia. That is going to.
What?
I'm so
Okay,
serious.
elaborate on that. Elaborate on that. Do you think that like you literally think that she's going to get amnesia and forget all this?
Mm-hmm.
No,
I'm
no.
so serious. This is the same person who predicted Reba. I'm just throwing that out there. Like,
No. My there's one theory that I've read, and so I can't take credit for this, but there's one theory I read,
Andrew,
which
you've grown extra hands.
there's one theory I read which I think is a little, it's a stretch, is that Leia is going to realize that she's got a twin brother out there, in this finale, and Obi-Wan is going to do some sort of force magic to make her kind of forget this moment in her head, and if that's true, it kind of makes that line in Return of the Jedi when she says when Luke reveals to her that you're my sister, and she says, I feel like I've always known that might
So you're
be.
telling me the same little girl that Reva couldn't force penetrate is going to fall victim to force memory wipe?
Not a good enough reason to use the word penetrate.
Oh, I thought it was a fantastic reason.
I was just being funny. No, listen, I said I can't take credit for this. I'm just saying I read somewhere in one of these articles that, I don't even know who it was. It was just one of those Google articles that popped up, of theories and whatnot. And one of the theories was that Leia might possibly end up realizing she's a twin brother out there, and that Obi-Wan might use some sort of force magic that we haven't seen before, where he's going to kind of erase that from her memory, and that is why it's always kind of been a suppressed memory that she has a twin brother. And when she says, I feel like I've always known, and when she says that in Return of the Jedi, I feel like I've always known that I have a brother.
I mean, she did say that, but I guess what I feel is that I like to, in some of the Marvel movies, pre-Endgame and up to Endgame, there were all these things in there that they came back to, and especially in Endgame, all these stories that were wrapped up and things that felt like, oh, yes, that belongs. I'm not so sure that Lucas wanted the idea of this. I think he liked the mystery of it all. And I don't think he wanted us to dive in deeper onto her possibly maybe having this repressed memory of a younger or a twin brother. I think that it's just added to that story in the moment. I'm not sure if Lucas planned on exploring this part of Obi-Wan's. I don't know. I felt like he always had like prequels and stuff like that in mind, but this whole like simple story of just following Obi-Wan and Leia and Reva, but it's called Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm just not sure that's exactly what Lucas had in mind when he was writing the groundwork.
Well, yeah. Well, they're clearly not. They clearly don't care about what Lucas has to say anymore about any of this.
Not at
Which
all.
That's probably okay.
Yeah, I think it's probably okay as well. But he's also he's getting older. That's why. But he sold it off. I just don't know if that he's fully, or maybe he is satisfied. Maybe he's totally happy with what they're doing.
God.
It
Do you
feels.
ever watch Mike Zero on here on YouTube?
I
Yeah,
don't.
I know that guy. Yeah, I mean not personally, but yeah, that's everything always.
No. I'm talking about Mike Zero. He does Star Wars content only.
Oh,
And,
I'm getting them confused. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mike Zero, he has been preaching the end of the world over at Lucasfilm now for the last like 3 or 4 weeks. Like the sky's falling, everyone hates everyone, people are getting fired. They're gonna remake this episode and they're gonna re-release it in 3 months, and they're gonna put back in like all this other stuff. I have no idea if any of that's true or not, or if he's just doing clickbait. But I've been listening to that like.
There was a theory also that when what's her name, Kathleen Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
There were rumors going around about her getting fired, and they're going to redo the entire sequel of 8, 9, and 10. Or was it? I'm sorry, 7, 8, and 9.
That's ridiculous.
And redo that whole thing, and that was clearly not true.
Look, this whole Snyder cut phase and people doing that was a one-time thing. Studios aren't jumping on this train to spend more money just to please some fanboys. The Snyder cut thing was a one-time thing.
Y'all are about to see something we talked about the other day. I think it was all 3 of us. I don't know. Was it all 3 of us, or was it just me and you, Bobby? Like, your Ezra Miller concern, I'm starting to hear more and more that movie is going to get reshot, like all of it.
Well, he was officially fired.
Mm-hmm.
Finally.
And I've heard there's
See, my everything I'm reading still is saying that they're letting go of Ezra, but they're not going to reshoot this. They're just going to figure out a way to make you believe that he's not the Flash anymore after this movie.
I have heard everything from the fact that they will turn this into an HBO Max.
I have heard that.
And
I have heard that.
But I've also heard that evidently there are a lot of people right now who are very, very concerned that that whatever is coming down the pipeline for this guy, it's going to make that it would just ruin the whole thing. Like, think about that though. If this ends up being bad for him, like if he ends up, having done some stuff that's even weirder or more out there, or is accused even, not saying he's guilty of anything, but like accused even of doing some like, really heinous stuff to this Dakota.
Look, it's already tainted. It's not going to be forgotten at this point. It's not something that people can overlook. It's just not.
Well, let's get down to it. Like, so, hey, Clint, what did you think of episode 4, man?
Episode 4 was a disaster.
Then retort.
It took me 2 watches to get through it. Some of the worst editing.
2 watches, bro. It's 30 minutes.
I know, isn't that says something. There was so much. The Tampa Bay beat the Avalanche, Andrew, to win the Stanley Cup. There is
hey, and your Warriors won too.
Yeah, I know, man. Now you get to hear my whole Steph Curry comparisons for like another year at least.
Yeah.
So, what didn't you like about episode 4?
What did you like about episode 4?
Okay, I'll tell you what I liked about episode 4. I liked that Obi-Wan finally looked like a badass. He finally got in control of his Jedi powers. He was holding that the glass. The glass that was, and he was holding that together, and then he let it go at the right time to kind of drown the stormtroopers out with the water. That was pretty epic. And then that moment where he shows up with where little Leia is about to get tortured, and there's the only people left in the room are stormtroopers, and suddenly in the middle of the dark you see the blue lightsaber light up. That was pretty cool. That was a cool shot. Okay. And then and he's fighting off. he's fighting off the stormtroopers coming after him, and he's you know using his lightsaber to bounce off the blast, and that was very reminiscent of how he fought in episode 2 and 3. And so I dug that. I was like, okay, they're finally Obi-Wan's finally getting back into the touch of the Force.
So to me, it was just like, oh, you can't do shit. You can barely use it. And it's like he shot up some compound V, and all of a sudden he's got his Force powers back. So he got him back too fast, in my opinion. It's just like, oh, now you're 100% now, because in episode 5, he's fighting everybody off like they're just nothing. He's just like, yeah, I'm Obi-Wan again. And it's like, well, hey, just like a day and a half ago, you couldn't do shit.
Bro, it's Force muscle memory.
Which means it doesn't just come back all of a sudden. It means it takes time, right? I don't know. I just think that it's like in No Way Home. They just throw these things out there and just expect you to buy it. While I love No Way Home for a lot of reasons, there's a lot of things that are just like, you're just expecting us to buy it because you're putting it on screen. What about the logic behind it? And I don't know. That's what I like about Nolan's films so much, Batman, that he actually makes it to where if you break it down and really try to think, how would this happen? They make it believable, and I don't know. I just think it's Star Wars, obviously. You got to suspend disbelief, but I mean, it has to be as a storytelling to where you can suspend disbelief, but still be enthralled. Like Alien,
right.
The first Alien. Fucking A, man. Amazing.
Or Summer Catch with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh dude. Yes. She's all that. Hey, for my money, it doesn't get any better than When a Man Loves a Woman by Michael Bolton.
Oh, well, you're the 80s lover, man.
No, that's from Office Space. Remember? He's like, he's talking about it. He's like, yeah, and you work here? Your name's Michael Bolton? He's like the pop singer? He's like, I got to tell you, for my money, it doesn't get any better than When a Man Loves a Woman by Michael Bolton. Anyways, look, episode 4, I thought was the same as the prior episodes. Nothing was special about it to me. I thought they handled Vader poorly. He's not seeming that menacing in part 4, not like he was when he was walking down the street. However, the lightsaber scene with him in the dark was kind of cool, but that's just a cinematic effect that doesn't cover up.
Well, I mean, that's true. I'm just saying I enjoyed seeing that shot, and how that went down. I thought Vader in episode 4 was awful. Why? First of all, what
up, Jacob?
When Vader goes up to Reva in episode 4 and acts like he's going to choke her out, has he been there the whole time? And why was he not trying to attempt to stop them? Look at
that shit.
Haha.
What's up, girl?
So Reva goes out to stop them from flying away in episode 4. Well, where was Vader? He apparently just showed up to almost choke you out. Was he not interested in showing up to try to stop you from flying? Was he not interested in trying to help prevent Obi-Wan from flying away?
Yeah, and it's like let me just go through this whole town and kill all these people just so barbarically in front of everyone, and then but the fire and the droid got him, and I guess we'll just. It's like all this determination, and then all of a sudden you just let everybody get away. I just don't think it's menacing.
That's a good point, but episode 5 pretty much makes up for all that, right?
I think episode 5 is the best episode by far, no question.
Episode 5 for me was I'm sorry, Clint. Episode 5 for me was everything that I wanted the other episodes to be.
Agreed.
I mean, that when things went down in episode 5, holy moly, I was like, yes! You got the revelation that Reva is a third sister, which I'll give you credit, Clint, you called it. But the flashback of her, showing her as a youngling, that was badass. The moments of Vader having those memories of him fighting Obi-Wan as a Padawan that you never saw before in episode 3. And I kind of thought maybe for a second, is this something that he was dreaming about that never actually happened? Or was this something that just a memory of his that we have never seen before? And I think it's the latter. I think it is I think it's a training session that we had just never seen before. And they didn't bother aging him, and that's fine. I wasn't really bothered at the fact that they didn't age Anakin. I don't think that was completely necessary. I mean, we got the idea that.
But you can clearly look at that shot right there and tell that that's Anakin 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And the one we saw fighting him is Anakin now. And that
Right.
they could have worked on that.
I mean,
honestly.
I guess they could have, but again, that is kind of why I thought, is this a dream of him having, and it was never really something that really came to fruition. It was just, it's just a dream that he had.
So why would Anakin look older in the dream?
Because he's dreaming about how he looks now. I don't know.
He doesn't look anything like that, bro.
That's making me think too hard about it. I feel like I don't know.
No, that's something though, man. Those scenes were so dope, bro. Those things were so great.
No, and look, it's really cool. And I'll say this: I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm sorry, but if it was like that and a lot of that stuff throughout the whole show, but I feel like there's a lot of dragging. Like the problem with this is that the trailer looked like it was going to be like a movie and in movie pace and everything. And it's just kind of feeling like the Marvel shows. It's like, and the way the Mandalorian filled, they're stretching out episodes so they can have episodes. Like, I think this whole thing could have been told probably in 3 episodes if they would have just paced it up quick.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong, man. I texted you when episode When episode 4 was over, I told you, I said, it is very clear now that this is not a series that is about Vader and Obi-Wan as much as it is about Obi-Wan and a new character, Reva, that we're supposed to just like really be enthralled with and really have invested in. We are not invested in her. We are invested in the characters of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
Look, if you would have introduced this character Reva in here as somebody that was a badass and everything and make us like her like you like her in this, then I would have been cool with them making a spinoff like they did with Mandalorian and stuff, because I think the character is good. But I agree with Andrew. The fact that this show is becoming a lot about Reva and Leia, and the show's called Obi-Wan Kenobi, and don't get me wrong, he's in it plenty. He's in the whole show. I just was wanting this in the way they were advertising with. It's like, why even have Anakin back? Why even have Hayden Christensen back when you're not even using him for the show?
Bobby, there's something that, like, I've noticed this about you more than any other person, is like, whatever the expectation of the original trailer is, like, you tie all of your hope to that.
Well, look, to me, a trailer's supposed to get you excited about something, not to get you excited about something that it isn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you imagine if they were just like, hey, look, Tom Brady's going to be on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then you get to the game. It's like, just kidding. He's taking off this game. It's like, well, that's not what you told me.
Well, that's kind of what these studios are getting known for, is they'll put out these trailers and make you think that it's about that it make you think it's about this and this and this. And then you realize it's like, God, the trailer you guys show me is like the first 10 minutes of it. Like, and that has nothing to do that's not at all what I was led to believe that it was going to be about. But also the press behind it, though, man. The press behind it was very much about Obi-Wan Kenobi and what happens with him and the relationship with Anakin, or AKA Darth Vader, after 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. And you have seen him and Vader face to face one time.
Jeez, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Even in Dark Knight Rises, a movie that's only 45 minutes long, you get 3 badass showdowns with Bane and Batman.
If episode 6, if this finale is not okay, so what are these shows, like 45 minutes long? If you don't have,
this one's going to be 53, I think.
Okay, 53 minutes. If you don't have 45 minutes of that with Anakin or with Vader and Obi-Wan, that is a disappointment. That is a failure.
I agree with Andrew. Now, look, let me say this, and I'm sorry. You were about to say something, Clem. Let me just get this off, and then the floor is yours.
Some comments. What's going on over here?
These are ones we've all read.
Oh, okay.
I love Star Wars. I'm never gonna not like and enjoy watching Star Wars. I'm enjoying it, but at this point, for something that has such a legacy, that's become something that's so huge that you could actually say Star Wars and people know of it, even though they haven't seen it. I feel like it just needs to have something to where I'm getting chills. And I can't say that I've gotten chills except from Vader was walking down the street killing the people.
Yes. That was
there've been chill moments in every single episode. And you're not being honest with yourself if you disagree with that.
Look, maybe it's like, when you drink like some really, really well-made expensive wine, and then you go back to the to the
The cheap shit,
the Behringer
the box
White Zin.
wine.
It's kind of like, it's hard for me to do this now. Maybe that's how I'm getting with film. Kind of like with horror movies. I'm extremely desensitized. It's hard for me to actually be scared in horror movies now.
Well, I'm
You just wait till see Lake Court.
important question.
Oh.
This is super important. Okay, I have to know. In the beginning, when you're standing in the field swinging the bolo tie around, are you channeling your inner Creighton Duke?
That makes me think of a little girl in a pink dress sticking a hot dog through a donut.
I'll take a Voorhees burger and a side of Jason fingers.
Yes. Only through a Voorhees can he be reborn.
That's a very expensive question.
Yeah, dude, Creighton Duke, one of the greatest characters of all time, that had no real reason for being in the movie except to make us do this now and regard Creighton Duke as one of the greatest characters of all time.
That's what this show's missing. It needs Creighton Duke like that, so that way he could be explaining to Obi-Wan what the real Sith
You mean
Lord is like.
that it needs a useless character again?
Did you just try to say Creighton Duke is useless? Because Creighton Duke is the A.C. Slater of horror films, all right? Mr. Exposition, like everything that you could possibly need in one or two sentences at a time. Like, he's the A.C. Slater of horror.
All right, dude, I'm going to do something here for us. I'm going to get him pulled. You guys keep talking. I'm just going to...
Okay, well, so I did like... okay, so are we done with episode...
Are we done with the A.C. Slater thing? Like, because we think about where he's like, the addict's an over 18 dance club, and Zach's only 16. Like, that's Creighton Duke right there, right?
That's something that Creighton would say.
Exactly.
Hey, so speaking of Creighton Duke, and I'm not trying to get us off topic here, but if you guys don't know who we're talking about, I'll show you real fast. If you guys have seen Jason Goes to Hell, just so you guys can know the beloved Creighton Duke that we're referring to. He's, again, a pointless character in the movie.
Thank you.
Had no real reason being in there, but he was awesome. There he is. That's what, and that's where it's just like, well, that makes me think of a little girl in a pink dress sticking a hot dog through a donut. That's the famous Creighton Duke. So, anyways, back to Star Wars. Yeah, if Creighton Duke could show up, what if he's Mace Windu's brother?
Of course.
Speaking of Mace Windu, where is Samuel L. Jackson in this whole thing? I mean, damn.
Yeah, you'd think that he'd have her up in there.
Up in one of the tanks or something,
right?
Yeah. I mean, they can give Darth Maul a fake legs in the animated series. They can't make it where Mace Windu shows up half robot as well, but he's a Jedi still.
You can get a new couch, Eddie Murphy. What am I doing about my legs?
Okay, so no, for reals though. So, episode 5, man, that was everything I wanted it to be. I liked the memories. I liked the that fight with Reva and Vader.
Oh, that whole scene was beautiful.
That was badass.
That whole scene, visually, everything, the way they tricked him with the other ship behind the ship, and the way. Okay, let me just say this. Sorry, wrong there. When Vader started ripping the ship open, that's menacing Vader. To me, that's like, oh, look at him, dude. He doesn't care. He's just whoosh. Like, that's what I want to see that we haven't seen.
How much menacing Vader have you actually seen in your entire Star Wars canon, though? Like,
not a lot. Not a lot, though. Not a lot.
Not enough. That's what I wanted it to be.
But yes, every moment you see him in Empire, and every moment you see him in Star Wars, in New Hope, and every moment you see him in Return of the Jedi, you're just like, oh no. Well, at least the first time you saw it.
And listen, I don't want to be too nitpicky about this because we can pick this apart, but when that ship is flying off in episode 5 and he rips it apart, where was that on Hoth and Empire Strikes Back when he literally watches the Millennium Falcon fly away?
Millennium Falcon's a different bird.
Oh, is that what it is? Or is Vader just not as powerful at that point in time? It's been 30 years or 20 years. I don't know, but
no, I think he's still.
I'm just wondering.
I think it's just Star Wars. Look, I think it's Star Wars being bought by Disney, and Disney being like, they'll like it. It's Star Wars. Put it out. We don't have to think about it. Put it out.
Well,
whatever. Everybody, you can mark my words. You come back to this video in 5 years, and everybody's talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi like it's one of the preeminent series in all of sci-fi history. I love it as a Star Wars fan. Like, everyone's going to be saying it 5 years. Everyone.
Listen, I have not been. I have not been completely satisfied and excited about this series, and then episode 5 came out, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yes, this is this." Where was this in episode 2,
Oh my
3,
God.
and 4?
Episode 5 is the
Episode
best
2,
episode.
the end of episode 2 when Vader shows up in the back of the tank, dude, that's like, did that not really not get you? Were you not really like, oh my God?
Yeah,
Like,
okay, yes,
Yes,
man, but
that's cool, but it's just a few seconds.
That's a cool moment for, but where was he in episode 4? Where was he in episode 1? I mean, what are you hiding from? We all know that Vader is existing in this world, and the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. We know that Vader has already been created. We're expecting to see him, and it's like we gotta wait before you see Vader. Like, why? We know who he is. We know where he's at. We know what he's doing.
Hey, Jacob chimed in real quick. He said that he's looked into that, and there's small talk that they want to make a series about him. Sam Jackson's even said he wants to come back for Windu.
Oh boy!
I mean, Disney. Look at them; they're gonna just make a series for everyone.
Yeah, see, there you go.
All right, I gotta know this. Go ahead.
She says that's an excellent point, Clint. There are many moments, but all of them are profound. Talking about Vader.
She's not even watching this show.
Whoa! He just called his own wife out online, guys. Okay, we'll see. Father's Day's over with, bro.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you for watching.
She's actually checking in on him. I'm gonna make sure Andrew's where he is.
Yeah, make sure he says he is where he is.
I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so odds, guys, are we getting the return of Liam Neeson or not in this?
Liam Neeson's?
No, but hey, look, don't mess with the Liam Neeson.
Yeah, you don't mess with Liam Neeson's.
Is Qui-Gon coming back?
No, he's not coming back. Come on.
As a Force Ghost, fool.
I would say that there's a good chance that he comes back as a Force Ghost, just because that seems to be the thing that moves the Jedi forward when they're at their lowest point. Is the Force Ghost, right?
So what now?
So like when a Jedi, like for example, I see Obi-Wan getting at his lowest point, probably right before he's about to fight Vader, and then something happens to where he's able to really bring it all together. And a lot of times that's happened in the movies when a Jedi's been at their worst and lowest point. It's a Force Ghost that sort of reinforced your Jedi. You've got this. And
oh, you mean like Last Jedi when like I am all the Jedi?
Kind of, but I'm just saying more of like, yes, they get there and they help her out, but it's just happened in a lot of movies.
I meant Rise of Skywalker, which is like,
there you go.
I am all the Jedi.
Yeah, which was a straight,
and they didn't even show any Force ghosts.
Which was a straight ripoff of "And I Am Iron Man."
Yeah. Well, it's Disney.
Yeah, but I think that we have to get a good fight that's amazing at the end of this, and if we don't, then it's
an epic fail.
It's an epic fail. If it's an awesome fight, it's going to be something to where I'll be like, oh, I can't wait to rewatch episode 6 of Obi-Wan. You know, like I'm not going to go back and rewatch this show.
Well,
I don't have any reason to.
What's the least likely thing that you think can happen in the show that you would like to see happen?
The least likely?
The least likely, but the thing you wish would happen.
I think it'd be awesome if Darth Maul showed up.
Man, I don't know, man, because the problem is they've already admitted that they are in pre-production for a season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is so stupid because that means that they can, if that is really going to happen, that means they can leave us hanging with episode 6 and not actually give us what we want because, well, we're going to do another one.
Well, first off, we know that neither of them are going to die. So it's like, how epic can it be?
Well, okay, I'll put another thing. You're talking about Qui-Gon. Yoda is still alive and very much younger than he was when Luke met him.
Okay, does Yoda show up?
I mean, does he talk to Yoda?
That's a good point.
Good point.
Oh, hey, real quick, guys, we got a comment in here. I just want to say,
my wife just called me an ass.
Yep. I just
Valerie. radio.
Yeah. Steve Winwood, baby.
That's right.
Yeah, of course. I'm the same girl I used to be.
That's
Yeah.
how Andrew like wooed her. He used to call her every night, singing that song to her.
You don't know that song?
No, I know the song,
Oh.
but I certainly did not call her to court her with that song.
Okay, so here we go. I think this is a theory. Obi-Wan kills Grand Inquisitor in front of Darth and makes Darth hatred even more vengeful. Okay, that's a possibility, I think, because he's back. Inquisitor's back, like everybody called.
Okay. Oh yeah. He certainly did not die. So I've got a theory, or and maybe not so much of a theory as what. Okay, so they ended episode 5, right, with Obi-Wan deciding to turn himself into Vader, much like Luke turned himself into Vader in Return of the Jedi. Okay, and I think that Obi-Wan still believes that there is good in Anakin because he still remembers Padme saying,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, there's good in him. There's good in him. He still remembers the last words that Padme said. He still believes, and even Reva says, do you actually want Anakin to not die? He can't answer that question.
Yep.
The Jedi in him believes that he can, that Anakin is still good, that his former friend, his best friend, his son, whatever you want to call it. And so I think that it's very reminiscent of Obi-Wan. It's very reminiscent of Luke turning himself into Vader in hopes that he can turn him to the good side, to remind him that there is still good in you. That is exactly what Obi-Wan is doing. He's turning himself into Vader, turning himself in to Vader, so that he can, in hopes of turning Vader into, reminding him that there is still good in you. And obviously that does not work. They have a showdown. What happens in that showdown, I don't know. But if you remember, if you remember Return of the Jedi, okay, there's a line that Vader says to Luke in Return of the Jedi when he says, Obi-Wan once thought as you do. Okay, well, think about that. Obi-Wan turns himself in to Vader unarmed, just like Luke did, turns in his lightsaber and everything. But this is so reminiscent.
Andrew's throwing out some deep shit here, dude.
This is so reminiscent of Return of the Jedi, where Luke turns himself in unarmed in hopes that he can turn Vader good, and Obi-Wan is doing exactly that, turning himself in unarmed in hopes that he can persuade Vader, hey, you are Anakin, you are my friend, you are my brother. And obviously it doesn't work out well for it doesn't go the way everyone thought, because we all know what happens. But how it goes down is that's the ultimate question: is how do they make this go down?
Man,
they're going to fight on top of ice.
No, that's amazing, because now it makes that moment, like you're saying, when Vader accepts Luke the way he does without the lightsaber in Return of the Jedi. It makes that moment the entire time he's going to actually be good this time, because he's seen this once before.
Okay, there's a little bit of something there.
That's really cool, man. That's a
weight.
really cool record.
There's some weight. Like so, with that being said, is it worth them making these another season? Do you think they have enough to go along?
They need to make 10 more of these seasons, bro. Like these two guys could have gone over the whole universe kicking each other's asses. Like,
hey, so Heather has something she wants to add in here, and this is a good question. And you were talking about who would you want to see that's not very likely, but you would like to see. And she says, "Where's the Emperor in all this?"
Yeah, I thought about that too. Why have you not seen him?
Is he going to be in the last episode?
Dang, that's good. That would be awesome. I haven't even thought about that. I was really kind of hoping that Thor would show up.
Yeah. Peter Quill and Thor just pop on in. Dude, I wouldn't
sorry, wrong universe.
I wouldn't be surprised at some point if Disney does that. Like, tries to incorporate some sort of the galactic Marvel universe into Star Wars somehow for a crossover movie.
Sure, Quill.
I'm still waiting for C-3PO.
I mean, we've seen R2.
Yeah, he's buried underground.
He's buried in the sand.
Because they'll recognize that droid.
Which all that's great. Like, okay, let me just say this. The setup, like everything they do to like where he is, him looking at Luke through the binoculars, like him like messing around with the Jawas and like having to barter with them and everything. Like all that is awesome. It's just more of when the pace of the show gets started. And I have some complaints about how many close-ups there are in Star Wars. While I'm a huge fan of the close-ups, depending on the movie, with Star Wars, when they're fighting, you want to see their bodies and you want to see the swordsmanship and all that. And with that fight between him and Vader, it was just super, super close up to where all you could see was the lightsaber in front of their face. I mean, it was literally, it was a lot of that. And it was like, no, I want to see them a beautiful shot of their surroundings and them fighting in the middle of it.
I we talked about that. I wanted to see more of like a master shot of them fighting rather than a lightsaber really up close. Tomahawk chopping the other one. So yeah, and maybe they did that. Maybe they did that because this final episode is going to be more of the epic battle that we saw, reminiscent of Revenge of the Sith.
And look,
hey, did y'all notice between the two lightsaber duels we've seen on the show, between them, the one where they're Vader and Obi-Wan, and then the one where they're Anakin and Obi-Wan, or whatever in the training montage?
Yeah, they're fighting the old school way.
Okay, all right, yeah, but hold on, hear me out. So in the first one, Obi-Wan is holding the saber with both hands, and Vader's going one-handed at him. And when it switches, it switches when you're seeing the training thing. Anakin's holding it with both hands, and Obi-Wan's holding it one-handed.
Oh, that's a pretty good observation there.
That is a good observation. You know what else is another good observation, and I agree with Cody Brown here, is that more dick twisting, dude. That's what needs to be happening in here.
Sure.
He's talking about the sports.
Man, you guys didn't laugh at that at all. I thought it was hilarious, and I just sat there silent for me. I thought that was classic. Good job, Cody. Also, we got another comment from Jacob here saying, or what is Darth sees Leia at the end of part six, and that's a way to lead into season 2. I guess that's something there too, but I'm just not wanting very much interaction with Darth and Leia. I want it to be.
No, I don't think there needs to be any interaction at all.
I still contend that in A New Hope they are very familiar with each other. She has a very familial relationship.
Well, hold on there now. So when Leia in A New Hope, when Leia is addressing R2-D2 and sending that message, she says, Obi-Wan Kenobi, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars. I'm reaching out to you now to help me, blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm talking about Leia with Vader. Like Leia was very familiar with Vader. She was very
he's right, because he's talking to her and she's like, I know exactly
but
who
that's
you
also
are.
But that's, I think Leia she ends up becoming royalty. She becomes a princess. So of course he deals with her and deals with the people of Alderaan. But he does not know who Leia is, at least that early.
As far
on.
as his, as far as her being his daughter. Well, but does he? Because he knows that Luke's his son.
No, he doesn't. There's no way.
Not now. I'm talking about at the beginning of New Hope.
No, he doesn't even know who Luke is at New Hope. It's only revealed to Vader in Empire Strikes Back that the one who destroyed the Death Star is no doubt the son of Anakin Skywalker. He's like, how can that be? Search within your feelings. It's revealed to him through the Emperor.
So before the Emperor's dialogue was the son of Anakin Skywalker, what was it? Because Anakin Skywalker was not in that originally.
What are you doing? You got some eargram?
No, it's just this. I was on that trip. I was on that trip yesterday. I had these in for 10, 12 hours, and then I've had them in all day today working on projects. So they're getting getting
irritable.
Irritating.
Yeah.
No, but okay. So what I was saying earlier was that Clint, you mentioned previously in a few podcasts back that you thought it was a cool idea that Leia meets up with Obi-Wan, and now she knows Obi-Wan is always going to be there to help her because of this. But if you chime back to A New Hope when she says, years ago you helped my father in the Clone Wars.
Boom! I got it.
Wait a minute though. She doesn't know him. She doesn't know now. She doesn't know him from the Clone Wars. She knows him from helping her when she was a child.
Listen, bro. We also right now, man, I've heard no one say this. We also right now are about to experience the damage of what it's like to leave a communicator out with an uncoded message, right? Because Reva may go back and mess with Luke now. So after this right here, when Obi-Wan says goodbye to Leia, he's like, "All right, yo, if you ever reach out to me, pretend like you don't know me and shit, okay?"
You think we're just supposed to assume that that's a conversation?
That he's going to tell her. We're going to see it on the show. And I mean, what would you rather have happen? That or a bump on the head or force out memories?
Well, no one Disney, they'll leave it ambiguous, and we're supposed to just have discussions like this to wonder if they know what the fuck they're doing.
Which is exactly what they've got going. It's brilliant marketing. Three of us are up almost past Andrew's bedtime, and like we're like about to. I know that's what I'm saying. We're still
because look, I am a chattermouth, and I like to talk about things regardless if I love them or hate them. And this one right now, I don't hate it. It's just I just wish it was more. I really just wish it was. I feel like there's something that's missing from this that even the sequel trilogies have.
Okay, so I want to know y'all's theory on what Reva sees from that broken image of Organa talking about the children and Tatooine. You can barely make out like Reva is kind of listening to this thing.
She's going after Luke, bro.
Okay, well, why?
To go get Kenobi. She's going to try to get back in with the. She's going to take Vader not killing her as her way back in with the. Them like whatever.
No. In Vader's mind, she's dead. She's done.
You think so?
He called her out. He called her the whole time. I mean, he says, "Did you really not think that I sensed this whole thing, third sister? You youngling." Like he knew all along that she was playing him.
I don't know.
But I'm trying to understand what I'm trying to understand from an audience member what we're supposed to think that she is gathering from seeing that broken image of him of Senator Organa talking about Luke and Tatooine and the children.
She probably wants another crack at Vader, don't you think?
Are we supposed to assume that she's piecing all that together, that Vader has kids out there from that broken, whatever you want to call it, broken phone call, the hologram where you can barely make out a few words, and we're supposed to assume that she's pieced that together to know like there's a child on Tatooine that is Vader's. I just don't buy that. I don't know what we're supposed to. I guess they think I guess the writer's supposed to assume that we know she has figured this out, that there is there's someone else on Tatooine that he's protecting, and that's why he's been there. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just think that it's a little.
I mean, it ends on Luke. It ends on like 10-year-old Luke going sleeping in the middle of a Tatooine. So you obviously we know this final episode is Obi-Wan trying to go back to Tatooine to get back to Luke. But why?
Because I think Reva's after him.
Yep.
Okay. To what? To prove to as a way to get as a way to still try to get Vader.
I just think that. I mean, I don't know really why, but I mean, she's clearly involved with. She's trying to get somewhere. And again, she's still going to try to get somewhere because she's not dead.
Yeah,
wouldn't Vader just killed her? Like,
yeah. See, again, if she ends up intervening in Episode 6 and prevents the epic battle between Obi-Wan and Vader that we all want, I'm going to be pissed.
Look,
this is not supposed to be about that fucking chick.
Heather says, "I've always wondered why Vader can't sense her like he can Luke. He should have been able to, unless you want to say because she's not aware of being a Jedi, she doesn't use it. So is that why he can't sense it?"
It's either that or it's because this show is like, very Christian in the sense it's patriarchy and doesn't care about women or hold them up to any equal standard of anybody else. I mean,
and well, look, she says more is the reason that he should be able to sense Leia if he can sense the youngling. But she's using the powers, so maybe that's why.
I mean, Heather, you make valid points.
Very valid points.
You make valid points, and I've thought about this stuff as well as they continue to go on with these stories that have never been drawn up, that have never been put out there in the canon. They themselves are going to have to answer for these questions. The writers, I mean.
Well, look, at this point, I don't think anybody is. If anybody that's. I mean, can you say you're fully satisfied with this show?
No.
Clint?
Not yet. I think I will be. I think I will be, and I think I'll be excited there's a season 2. Like, guys, like, I wish y'all could have been in the same room as me when this show kicked off, bro. I was just like, yes, finally. And like,
yeah, I was too. I was super. I mean, yes, I felt like a kid turning it on. It's like opening a Christmas gift. But then when you're like,
I could watch Ewan McGregor play Obi-Wan Kenobi for 20 more hours.
Look, he's awesome as the character, and it's great how you see Obi-Wan Kenobi and not Ewan McGregor. All that's there. Yeah.
Well,
like I said, the setup for all of it is there. It's just the actual pacing of it and what's.
Yeah, I'm the same way about Vader. I could watch any story about Vader.
Stop fucking talking over each other.
They need to run off course is what they need to do. They need to have a break with Vader and then give us an entire season of Obi-Wan with no Vader whatsoever. So that way we can just watch a full season of him out disrupting hijinks and stuff so it doesn't screw up canon. And then Vader will come back around for one last trip in season 3 and we can get 3 full seasons out of it.
So you're saying a second season with no Vader?
Very little, yeah. Maybe like the thought of him out there. Maybe they could have like those Kylo Ren and Rey moments where they're like talking to each other.
No, man, no. That's gonna be an epic fail, man.
I don't have. Look,
did you watch it? I'm not saying it'll be good. I'm saying it's coming. That's my prediction.
No, I think that you're probably very right.
Like, I'm not saying it'll be good. I'm telling you, this is what you need to prepare yourself for. Like, you gotta. When I watch things, okay, like. Bobby sees the trailer and he wants the best possible version of that trailer out there. Don't lie to me in marketing. I see the trailer and my first thought is, how are all the ways they can stretch this as thin as possible and make it last as long as possible without losing fan interest?
See, but to me, that's quantity over quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying that's what I see happening. But then again... I guess that also shows the different sides of the wheels that we work on.
You want some? Hey, look, you want some pure Coke or something stepped on?
Well, you know,
I'm gonna get you hooked with this.
Yeah. I guess.
hey, Hayden Christensen's already come out saying that he would be open to a spinoff of focusing on Vader.
Yeah, dude. How many Vader stories?
Okay, but let me back this off a little bit though. Isn't it kind of like Jaws? The more you saw Jaws in the sequels, the less it was sort of frightening. I like the mystery of Vader, but when he's on screen, use him. And the problem is when he's on screen in this, they're not using him right.
Yeah.
Except for a couple of moments and that one scene where he's dragging everybody to the street. That's awesome. But like when he's just talking to her and it's like holding her up and to Reva and then he lets her down and it's like, oh, great. He's holding someone up by a neck. Let's see. I just want to be afraid of him, and I'm not.
I mean, I understand that idea of you know you don't want to show the villain too much, you know. But I mean, Vader is a character that goes back to what 1980, 1978, 77. I mean, it's not like they're hiding. It's not like he's been. It's not like they've been hiding this character forever.
Look,
if you want to show a spinoff of him to show a little bit more in depth and show the scarier side of him that we really never got to see, that's fine. Just do it right.
Yeah, show a 6-episode series of Vader, and every episode is another planet that he comes and demolishes and takes over, and every episode is just him wrecking shop. I don't want to dig into some Vader's emotion when he's taking off the mask and he's thinking about Princess Amidala or Queen Amidala. I don't want to see emotion Vader. I want to see menacing, mean. Yeah. I'm about to kill Vader.
Yeah, when you see Vader in A New Hope, he's already established as, you know, the Emperor's right-hand man, and he's clearly not there at this point in time in the Obi-Wan series. If he was, Obi-Wan would have heard his name before.
You're right. You know what? We could totally have a series where Vader trains with the Emperor, or we get to know the Emperor-Vader relationship, or maybe we could have a series mostly about the Emperor. That would be cool.
Now, would it be the same old dude playing Emperor?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so like, I got right here. Let me read some of these comments from Jacob. He says, "Crazy." Oh no, crazy shit. What if she's voicing Luke's head, and that is the partial reason why Luke in return has a slight hatred in the fight against Vader?
That's pretty cool.
And then Jacob also says, "This isn't Dazed and Confused." I'm not sure what he was referring to. Maybe I said something, but. I get a great point, Bobby. Thank you. But then he says, "Look at the end of Rogue One. Yes, menacing
Then
Vader.
Rogue One for sure.
Yeah.
That's the Vader I wanted to see in this.
Yeah, the Rogue One we saw in Vader, we saw in Episode 3.
Yes, when
Yes.
he's walking down the street.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Hey,
I
right.
look,
Guys, they can do it. Give me Qui-Gon, give me a 20-minute fight, and I'm gonna be fine.
I think the most likely is that we get a Qui-Gon Force Ghost.
Yes.
I think that's actually something that is very plausible.
Why Qui-Gon and not an alive Yoda?
Because Qui-Gon meant a lot to Obi.
I think Master Yoda shows up in season 2.
Not saying that Master Yoda wouldn't show up. I remember me talking about like him being at his lowest, and so I'm saying,
Man, that's a great idea. I got to give props to Andrew on that.
Yeah, but there's never even a moment in Revenge of the Sith when things are going awry with Anakin. There's never even a moment where Obi-Wan is trying to talk to Qui-Gon. Then, like, you made me train this guy. Look what's happening. That would have been a fucking epic moment right there in Revenge.
No,
of the
but
Sith.
he talks. But he doesn't have a moment with Qui-Gon. But he does talk. He asks Qui-Gon questions. Like he basically kind of like Maverick talking to Goose. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Talk to me, Goose.
When
He talks about Anakin being a young, like, basically, if you were here, Master.
Can you please make that part of your intro? Oh my god, that's amazing, dude.
Oh,
Okay.
look! I little got this, Master.
Master.
No, he says Qui-Gon hates his master. That's right. Qui-Gon talked about his master.
Okay, so before we wrap this up, so we had theories again of what we wanted to see at the end to this finale, and I said I said that if we don't have a 30 or 40 minute Darth Vader and Obi-Wan showdown, and I'm not even talking like a 30-minute saber fight. It could just be like if we don't have a 30-minute Obi-Wan and Vader on screen for that amount of time, fighting, talking, whatever, I'm gonna be disappointed, man, because this is supposed to be about that conflict, and the conflict that they started in Revenge of the Sith, and 10 years later, it has now come back. That's what I've been led to believe. That's what we've all wanted to see, and I just don't think that I'm gonna be satisfied if they don't show that, if they don't have that. I don't want to see Reva interfere anymore with Obi-Wan and Vader. I don't care about that. I don't care about that character when it comes in relation to Obi-Wan and Vader. I want to see a showdown of Obi-Wan and Vader, and either Vader embarrasses him, and that's why he goes back into hiding and ages 60 years, or Obi-Wan gets the best of him again, and that fuels,
the only thing
and that fuels Vader's anger even more.
That's the only thing that's going to happen. I don't think that Obi-Wan gets beat. I think that he's going to win. If they're doing a season 2, especially, because you said it too. He's like, when we last saw each other, I was but a learner.
Yeah, that line may not mean anything anymore either.
It has to. There's one thing if they erase canon from side shows and side movies and Rebels and things like that, but you can't erase canon from the films.
Yeah, they never will. I mean,
you just can't. They've even said that. They've admitted to erasing other canon, but they'll never erase the canon in the films.
Yeah, but they kind of already have with that showdown, that quick fight you saw in Episode 3. That was a fight they had 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. That's already Vader being a master, not a learner.
No, he's not, because at the end, he still hasn't beaten Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan got away, and Obi-Wan beat him at the end of Revenge of the Sith. So he was still the master. He might be a Jedi master, but in regards to Obi-Wan, it's this personal. This has nothing to do with the rest of the Force or the dark side. This is all about him.
Oh, well, I think you just touched on something I actually wanted to bring up. So in Episode 4, when he realizes Reva, he says, this was actually I actually enjoyed this moment when he says, you said Anakin, and he would have kept that quiet unless you are actually someone that knows who he is before then. That was a pretty brilliant moment. That, when he realizes, like, you were a youngling, like he's feeling all this, he's sensing all this. That was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, and that was all in the fifth one, right?
Yeah.
No, no. Yeah, well, shit, was it?
Yeah.
When he realizes that she was a youngling.
Because
After that,
he looks at it, he's like, "You're not bringing him to me. I'm bringing him to you."
Yeah, I'm bringing him to you. Yeah, and because then she thinks that she can pull a fast one on him, and that's when he's like, "Did you really not think I saw this coming?"
Look, a lot of the events that takes place, the story itself. If I was just reading a novel or something, the events are good. I'm referring to the way it's presented to me on the screen. And to me, a lot of the time, it seems like some of the people getting in the, like, first off, I do feel like a lot more of Ice Cube's son and their crew should have been shot up when all those stormtroopers come in and blasting lasers at them. And they're just standing there fighting, run! And you got one dude with a lightsaber fighting all those. It's like, come on, make that a little more believable. That's just filmmaking 101.
Moment. By the way, it's a great moment when the droid sacrifices himself.
Oh yeah, emotional.
Yeah,
I like that.
They love doing that with.
It's amazing, man.
They love doing that with droids.
Yeah, no, and I do think that's, if you can make me get emotional over a droid, then make me get emotional about the rest of the stuff. And it's not that it's not emotional. It's just I want it to be like. I want it to feel like when Luke and Vader are fighting at the end of Return of the Jedi, and that setting behind them is so magnificent with the eye of the Death Star behind them, and it's just, I think it's awesome.
Speaking of Death Star, why have we not seen that?
It's true.
Maybe
that is very true, because we saw that.
You saw the plans for that at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, they refer to it and everything. Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay, so I've got to see, I'm going to take Andrews and I'm going to add on to it. I want to see, I'm not going to demand 30 minutes. I'm going to demand 20 to 20. I'm going to demand 20 to 30, not 30 to 40. So give me 20 to 30. I'll be happy. Qui-Gon.
Uh-oh. Look at that. Let's keep that up. Hey, look at this.
Oh yeah. That could be a great thumbnail.
There he is. All right. So anyways, what were you saying? Qui-Gon what?
Qui-Gon has to show up, and then I'm going to take from our lovely commenters. There were some really good ones. I want to see the Emperor now. Like, I hadn't even thought about that. Now I have to see it. I'm going to be very disappointed.
That'd be pretty dope if the Emperor was in there.
It'd be amazing.
Look at Cody talking to him about them stormtroopers. Classic stormtroopers. Every time I'm reading a line of Cody in there, I'm just imagining him say it and him smirking a little, and it's making me laugh.
All right.
I think we'll wrap this up. I think that there's a good chance we see a Qui-Gon Force Ghost. That's my call. You're saying Emperor. What are you saying is something that, like, a surprise?
A surprise for me that I would thoroughly enjoy would be an alive Yoda that he communicates with.
So
I agree.
So we got Clint calling Emperor. I'm calling Qui-Gon. Andrew's calling Yoda.
It's not me who. No. I'm calling Qui-Gon. There was somebody in the comments, I think Heather, who added in Emperor, and I'm latching onto that.
You want Emperor?
I'm throwing it forward. Absolutely.
Okay.
She was the brainchild behind that, not me.
Gotcha. Well, thanks for the recommendation there, Heather. And William and Jacob and everybody joining in the chat tonight. This was fun. I actually had a few people. So this is the more the merrier. Spread this shit and get it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun when people talk to us.
What's going on tomorrow night? What are we doing?
Okay, so hey, a little bit of a change of plans tomorrow night, Clint, and I'm sorry. The reason we started talking about our theories for episode 6 is because we were going to do a whole episode of that tomorrow night. However, I got free screening passes for Andrew and I to the Black Phone tomorrow night before it's released. Dude. So
I'm going to see I'll be going to see the 67 comeback special of Elvis, and then the Elvis movie is playing right after it.
Nice.
So I'm pretty excited about that too.
Yeah, I got to figure out. I'm broke as a joke, and I got to figure out a way to get a ticket for that Elvis show because I didn't realize it was this weekend. For some reason, I thought it was next weekend. So I got to figure that out.
I'm very curious how that's gonna go.
I've heard, yeah, me too. My brother saw it and he said it's amazing.
It's Baz Luhrmann, so it's kind of like, how can it not be good?
Oh yeah, I mean, Moulin Rouge.
And real quick, Cody, as far as surprises and endings, he says he wants it all.
Well, good luck, Chief.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank y'all so much for joining us in tonight. I appreciate it. And so, look, this is going to be kind of the regular crew going forward when we talk about like spoiler things like this. Andrew and I will do it like spoilers all the time, but Clint will be joining us in a lot more. He's got a lot on his plate too, some art projects and things like that sometimes. So there's the occasional time he won't be able to join.
But Clinton is helping us move forward, move things along with Lit Court. He's designing the poster for us and helping with marketing for that. So that's, so he's yeah,
you're damn right.
Yeah,
and I'm going to get that picture of that mask to you. I hadn't forgotten.
Oh my God, that's going to be sick. And like, yeah,
So,
we're also, we'll have a bunch of moving forward, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of projects. I know that Bobby and I were talking about kicking something together musically, like a little collaboration.
Yeah.
And Bobby, I actually have a really good venue for that. I wanted to get in touch with you. I'm doing some research into it right now, but there is a mobile gallery right now that's like these video boards, and like this composer did music and an artist did like visualizer stuff to them, but you pay to go in this exhibit, and it's an entire exhibit full of music and visual what the fucks. And I was like, when you had reached out to me about like the kind of stuff that you compose and Manfredini-esque and everything, I was thinking to myself, man, we could put together like a little gallery show like that. That'd be pretty dope.
Dude, I'm down. We'll talk about it.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Well,
all right, everyone watching, be ready. Everyone watching, be ready for the Late Court teaser trailer coming out in the next couple of weeks.
Hell yeah! I just almost finished a final cut. So not a final cut, but the first full on like sequence. Like, all right, this is what it's going to be. So
yep,
it's going to be dope, man.
It will be dope. Clint, much love, man. Thanks for joining us, brother. Appreciate you.
Later, guys.
Peace.
Andrew,
yo,
always love, dog. And shit, man. I guess we're going to be seeing the Black Phone tomorrow night. I'm not sure if you're going to be available or down to do a out of the theater quick spoiler talk about it or not. If so, awesome. If not, I'll be putting out a review on it.
Yep, we'll just see.
Yeah. So hey, guys, remember, may the force be with you.
Always.
Yeah. Oh, and if life gives you lemons,
make some
hot fresh popcorns.